It makes me a little sick to my stomach. But nonetheless, you see again how the nation was nearly brought to its knees in financial disaster because of over-speculation and lack of government restraint. So all of these initiatives, of course, contributing to the debt. So that when President Obama takes over, he has a $10 trillion debt. Now, my colleagues on the other side argue now that we have a $14 trillion debt, and that's the worst thing ever. They have amnesia with respect to the $10 trillion that this president was given. And much like Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Obama sought to spend money to stimulate the economy by putting people back to work. The good news, we're recovering. The bad news is a very slow and fragile recovery. I've been proud to announce things back in this district as it relates to United Technologies and Pratt & Whitney and the Joint Strike Fighter and the tanker deals that will put money back into manufacturing, that will get America back on track to making things and investing here in America. Our entire creed should be make it in America and sell it around the world. Because when we're making it here in America, Americans flourish and prosper. But we have this problem that all of you at the start of this acknowledged and raised your hand. We have the deficit problem that must be addressed. How do you address that then? Because the issue.
Stop spending.
You have to address that by making sure you're doing three things. One, you're going to have to make cuts. And you're going to have to tighten your belt and make sure that you make those cuts. But when you make those cuts, you want to make sure, as painful as they are, you're doing it with an eye on growing the economy and not hurting the people in the economy who need it the most. Secondly, you're going to have to raise taxes because you're going to have revenues that come in. But again, you should do that strategically so that you grow the economy. So you make both cuts and increase taxes in a way that's going to grow the economy. You raise taxes so that your tax monies go to investing in Americans, that go investing in our infrastructure, that will grow this economy and put us back on our feet and pay down our national debt. As I said, the way President Clinton had laid it out, the debt was due to be paid off at 2009. Everyone can understand a calamity like September the 11th, but we should have paid for it. I have always been a proponent of pay as you go, because that's the way that you and I and everybody has to work to do it. So, this deficit problem arises, and we have countervailing thoughts on how you're going to deal with this. In the budget proposals that came out, you're all, I'm sure, more than aware of the proposals that have emanated from my friends on the other side of the aisle. Now, Paul Ryan is a very bright, capable guy from Wisconsin. And he truly believes, and I mean this sincerely, he truly believes that what he's proposed is the right thing to do. And what Paul has done is he said, well, what I want to do is target entitlement programs. Now, I get a little testy when I hear that. Let me ask you something. Did you pay into Social Security?
Yes.
Huh. Did you pay to Medicare? Oh, that's what I thought. Entitlement? This is a program in our great system, our entrepreneurial system. We encourage people to take risk because we know in that kind of a system that their innovation, their creativity, and their ability to take a chance and risk could lead to great profit, could lead to great breakthroughs, could allow our economy to grow. But we also know, because we learned this lesson in the Great Depression, that the vagaries of a system that's based on risk can leave some, through no fault of their own, who work hard and play by the rules, out in the cold. So we establish a safety net. You all know what it is. It's Social Security, it's Medicare, and it's Medicaid. And in the last session of Congress was also the Affordable Health Care Act, which sought to preserve Medicare, extend its life, takes full effect in 2014, and seeks to drive the cost of health care down. And I'll get to why that's important. So it seeks to drive the cost of health care down. But in the meantime, initially, screenings, physicals for the elderly, caps cost, takes effect immediately. Broader choice, children able to stay on their parents' policies to age 26. Pre-existing conditions for children, especially now, but later on for everyone, are allowed to take place. But most importantly, it starts to get our arms around cost. So what is the cost of health care in the United States? Cost of health care in the United States, in terms of gross domestic product, is in excess of 17% of our gross domestic product goes into health care. Right? Does that 17% go into Medicare? No, it doesn't. What goes into Medicare? Your contribution? Employer's contribution? The country's contribution. Medicare is a reimbursement system. Is it not? Yes. Okay. We're all together. Well, we'll get a shot. So now we have a reimbursement system. We have health care costs in this country that are approaching 17%, in excess of 17%. Why is that so? Medical devices, insurance, pharmaceutical, hospitals, doctors, trial bar. The 6 main forces that are driving the cost of health care. Health care costs are what cause reimbursement to Medicare to grow. It's not you. It's the cost associated